Good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. It is time for another episode of...
You didn't know, bitch? You didn't know?
First, we got to start with Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, no.
Now, for those of y'all that didn't know, Sha'Carri Richardson, I'm sure everybody knows by now. People that pay attention to track and field know by now that Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested for DV in the airport at the end of January. Now, I actually saw the video. What was amazing to me, though, in the video is that no one stopped and intervened, right? It seemed like everybody was just going on by their merry little way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could chunk it up to people being in the airport and trying to catch their flight, or they probably had a connecting flight or something like that. I do feel like at an airport, for the most part, it's a sense of urgency, and so you're not really worried about what other people got going on. But I was just shocked to see so many people walk by. I'm a person who is against domestic violence on both ends. I feel like if somebody put their hands on you, even if it's a push, that should be the end of the relationship.
Real talk.
But there is a double standard. We have to be honest. There is a double standard when it comes to men being abused, when it comes to men being sexually assaulted. We've seen it with the actor who plays, I can't think of his name at the moment. No, his name is Michael Rainey, the guy who plays Tariq in the Power universe. We've seen when he was on the stream with, I don't think it was Casanat. It could have been Casanat, but he was on the stream with Casanat and he was being sexually assaulted by that woman. Everybody was laughing. And it also depends on what the person who's doing it to you looks like, right? Because the woman was not, if we're being honest, she wasn't an attractive woman. But if that was an attractive woman, people still probably would have laughed. We also seen it with some of the content creators that was covering the case with the man who was suing Tyler Perry. But Derek Dixon is his name. There was a lot of people when they covered that lawsuit, it was last, but it was not last when it was Cassie. It was a whole different tone around sexual assault when it was Cassie. So there is a double standard. And I just don't feel like, if I'm being honest with you, I think that some people are only calling Sha'Carri out because they spoke on abuse in the past, right? And they feel like it's the right thing to do to say that she shouldn't be putting her hands on him or she should never put her hands on him. But they don't really feel like that she was in the wrong. They don't really feel like she was in the wrong. And I think that Sha'Carri was in the wrong because I know some niggas that would have broke Sha'Carri's motherfucking jaw. And if they would have broke her jaw and I would have told them, yeah, but you should have walked away when she pushed you the first time. If you knew that she had the tendencies to push on you and shove on you and hit on you and shit like that, because if she did it in the airport, she did it at home. If you knew that she had the tendency to do that, and if you knew that you could be to a place where you could just be enough is enough, and you probably was gonna break her jaw, you should have walked away then. You should have stepped away then. I'm gonna play the video of Sha'Carri apologizing, and then we're gonna talk about it.
Y'all, it's Sha'Carri, and more than anything, definitely a lot of self-reflection, a lot of understanding of not only putting myself in a compromised situation, but somebody that I have a deep care and appreciation for as well is something that holding myself accountable. I see myself, I'm taking this time to not only see myself, but get myself a certain level of help that overall is going to reflect who I truly am in my heart and my spirit, and not allowing this moment, but accepting this moment to be more. And so my only thing is I want to be more, not even just for myself, for my family, for my fans, and overly appreciate y'all supporting me and showing up and even holding me accountable to being my best self. So more than anything, I refuse to my family, for my fans, and overly appreciate y'all supporting me and showing up and even holding me accountable to being my best self. So more than anything, I refuse to run away, but not refuse to run, but I refuse to run away, but face everything that comes to me head on, because everything on the other side is greater, but you got to go through in order to get there. So I'm Sha'Carri, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and one love, much love, and y'all be blessed.
Now, from this video, it appears to me that Sha'Carri, she does not have a PR team. She can't have a PR team. In my opinion, I don't think an apology video was needed. We heard about the arrest. Christian came out at the end of at the end of Nationals, and he basically said that he didn't think that she needed to be arrested. They probably back together. There was no mug shot. There was no outrage. She didn't lose any of her sponsors. She didn't lose any of her deals. So an apology video, in my opinion, would have just worked against her. Also, there is no way that she had a PR team and that was the video that they chose to release. That they say, yeah, this is the one, let's send this one out. There's no way. She was laughing throughout the entire video. She was smiling throughout the entire video. And if there is a PR team, it's probably not a real PR team. It's probably just a bunch of yes people. Sha'Carri strikes me as a person who feels like I'm the star. Can't nobody help me. I know everything and I'm going to do what I want to do. Because again, I feel like that Christian shouldn't have even been coming to Florida to train in her camp. He shouldn't have even been that close to her. I'm not blaming him for the abuse, but I just feel like, you know, I want her to get away from this bum ass nigga. I'm sorry. He's just at the end of his career. But I do even feel like even if she had put out that video, it was no need to put out the video. She could have made a statement. There was no need to put out the video because even if she wasn't smiling, people would have still found something to talk about. People would have still found something to pick apart. Whereas if she would have just made a statement, it would have just been a post online. We wouldn't have seen her smiling. Sha'Carri is embracing. I want to say that people call Sha'Carri like the bad girl of track and field. And she is embracing that. So her getting arrested, she probably wants the mugshot to come out. You know, I'm the villain of track and field, right? I'm the bad girl of track and field. I'm not supposed to win these races. Look at where I come from. Almost like, what's her name, Tonya Harding? I'm not supposed to be here. Society says that from what I went through in my life, I'm not supposed to be here. So it seems like that she's like embracing it and she's not ashamed of it. That's what I get from the video. Now, Sha'Carri did end up. I just looked online because I wanted to post a video of her apologizing in this video, and she also made a statement. She said, "I apologize to Christian. He came into my life and gave me more than a relationship, but a greater understanding of unconditional love from what I've experienced in my past. Due to my past trauma and pain, I was blind and blocked off to not only receive it but to give it. I love him and to him, I can't apologize enough. My apologize should be just as loud as my actions, honestly louder. To Christian, I love you and I am sorry. SR." They back together. They're going to get back together. They're going to get back together. It is what it is. You know, like, look, that's them. To me, I feel like there are certain things for me that are just a deal breaker. I was talking to a family friend. I'm not gonna get into that, but there's just certain things to me that's just a deal breaker. And domestic violence, any type of physical violence in a relationship for me is just a deal breaker. But unfortunately, everybody don't feel that way. Next, we got DDG. Okay, DDG was detained and released. So it seems that DDG had a paintball tournament, and somebody called the laws. Whoever called the laws, it seems that they were not at the paintball tournament. So the laws got a call, and the call said that a male adult was brandishing and shooting a firearm, threatening to harm everyone around him. The laws came. The laws had their guns drawn, and they cuffed and detained DDG. Now, when they cuffed and detained him, he was still streaming live, right? So while this happened, people that was watching the stream actually witnessed what was going on. And that's probably a good thing, right? Because if the cops had fucked up or if something bad had happened, the police don't release the body cam footage immediately. They release it when they get a chance because to the police, they want to try to reverse engineer the order of events or the story when they come out and make the statement. But with him streaming, we can see what happened, or people can see what happened in real time. Although me personally, when it comes to the LAPD, I said this before, I've never had a bad experience with the LAPD. I have been pulled over twice in LA. Both times they were very professional, and even one of the police officers even offered me a little bit of grace. But the dispatches for the LAPD are a whole different story, okay? After the laws investigated the scene, no details from the 911 call panned out. Nobody had a firearm that was in their possession or posed a threat. No one was arrested, and DDG was uncuffed. If you cuffing me while you're doing an investigation, to me, I'm being arrested, right? You can't do an investigation without me being cuffed. You can't do an investigation and ask me to put down my paintball gun. You can do an investigation without having to put me in the back of a police car or just handcuffs to me, period. Once you put cuffs on me and put me in the back of the police car while you're doing an investigation, to me, I am being arrested.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
Y'all want to call it detained. Y'all not going to detain me. Ain't nobody, and I'm saying, and this is real, nobody that's not a police officer, don't ever, if you, listen, you're not about to do no fucking citizen's arrest on me. Never.
Don't motherfucking touch me.
Don't put your motherfucking hands on me, right? So to me, I feel like that DDG was arrested. When they say detained, I feel like that a person has been arrested, and I might be, y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. To me, when they say detained, it means that they have arrested you, but they don't really have a reason to arrest you, so they let you go before they go.
Like what? Like, that's the reason why.
That means they arrested you, they don't really have probable cause, or they don't really have a reason to be arresting you, and so they let you go. That's how I feel. That's what detained means to me. So to me, they showed up on the scene, they arrested DDG, they did an investigation and didn't have a reason to arrest DDG, so they took him off the cuffs, and they're trying to make it because of him and his followers. They're trying to say that he was detained. Nah, baby, he was arrested. The laws conducted a field report for a fraudulent emergency call investigating, and they are investigating to discover the identity of the person responsible. But to me, that is part DDG's fault, right? That comes with your every move being captured on camera. Kind of like Kim Kardashian. You got to start moving different. Because this could have ended horribly for DDG. Tamir Rice. This could have ended horribly for him. When people know your every move, when you got some people. What did Haley do this? I'm joking. Did Haley do this? Maybe one of her followers did. Somebody who probably liked The Little Mermaid did it. But when people know your every move, and then when people don't like you, they can see what you're doing, be upset, and make a police call, and have the police, they know where you at, right? They coming to get you. Like Kim Kardashian. They knew she was going to be in Paris. They knew that she had, you know what I'm saying? They going to come get her. The Jump Out Boys came in there, they tried to go get her. When we were growing up, my mom never let us play with guns. It's so funny to me because me and my mom was talking on the phone maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, and I guess she didn't remember, but because she asked me, did I have a gun? I was like, girl, do I? I carry.
No.
Oh yes. No. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
I gotta be ready. I actually carry. And she was telling me that it was so funny, like all three of my kids carry, right? All three of my kids got guns, and I know that y'all played with guns. I actually bought my mama a gun for Mother's Day a couple of years back, and she keeps the gun hidden. And she lives alone, and for the life of me, I just don't understand their logic. Because when I'm home, when I make it home, I lay it right on the nightstand. It lays right next to me on my bed. When I watch like a documentary and it get to be a little too scary for me or whatever, or somebody done died, I move it a little bit closer to me on the side. It's actually on the side because I have a nightstand, but I have like an upholstered bed, so there's like a platform on the side of my bed where like my phone be at and the charger and my water bottles and stuff like that. I usually lay it right there if I don't watch something scary. If I'm watching a scary documentary or something on Netflix or whatever, I move it a little bit closer. Well, my brother, he actually has two. He has one in his car and he has one on the side of his bed. He has a bed that's similar to mine. He keeps it there. A friend of mine told me that she has. I need to get to her level. She has different locations throughout her house where she keeps them. In case somebody ended up breaking in and she can't get to her room, she got one in the kitchen drawer, right? In case they get in while she in the washroom and she sees somebody or hears somebody coming in, she got one in the laundry room, right? So I need to get to that level, but mine is just on the side. But my mom, she has it hidden, and my fear is that if something happens, she would have to go find it in case something happens, instead of her just being sitting on ready, instead of her sitting and being comfortable and already having it known. And so I'm trying to let her know, like, no, you live alone, you don't have it hidden. You don't have people coming throughout your house or whatever. You need to have it in a place where you can easily get to it. It don't need to be hid. For DDG, fortunately, it ended well for him because it could have ended bad again with Tamir Rice. But some of this is DDG's fault because you just have to watch the way you move on the internet. And being a streamer and with people knowing your every location, y'all are going to have to start moving different ways. Then I want to talk about Lil Tay. Now I heard of Lil Tay probably during the pandemic or whatever, this little young Asian girl that was a rapper or whatever. But she recently turned 18 years old and she started her OnlyFans.
I don't know. Take what you want from that. That's what he said.
And she broke the record on OnlyFans because once she turned 18, she dropped the link to the OnlyFans and she cleared $1 million in her first 3 hours of dropping her link.
I'm not mad at that.
She said a lot of famous people, a lot of athletes and entertainers and rappers was in her DMs. And she said that, you know, she's not really, she said, to be honest with you, they've been there since 2023. So that means that they've been in her DMs since she was 16 years old. And I know people don't believe that, or people won't believe that this girl that made $1 million in her first 3 hours of just dropping her link to OnlyFans. But look at what Shannon Sharp went and did. Lil Tay is not an attractive. I mean, Lil Tay just a little. You know, I'm not saying that she just a plain Jane, regular little girl, just like what's the girl name? The Jane Doe that Shannon Sharp had, Gabriella Zuniga, plain Jane girl that was 19 years old. And so it shows me that there are some men out here just waiting for girls to get legal. They want them barely legal, right? I'm not mad at the young girls though. I'm not mad at the girls like Lil Tay or the girls who get on OnlyFans and drop their links, because you never know what type of background that these girls come from. And the $1 million can change your life. Look at the girl, Bad Baby Catch Me Outside. We don't know what type of background she came from. I don't really pay attention to her like that, but I know that she had a troubling upbringing with her mom, and with her creating the OnlyFans, she probably can change the way, because now she has a baby, she probably can change the way that her daughter is being brought up, which I highly doubt, right? But at least they ain't gotta be worried about where they'll be laying their head at or trying to get their next meal. Having some money can change your life. And if some of y'all, I'm just being real with y'all, I would rather be, listen, I will take something off. I will take something off to have my own house and my own car instead of be sitting up here saying that I'm saved and I ain't never showed nobody nothing and be sitting at a bus stop.
No, fuck that.
Now let's be real now. Now, where Lil Tay lost me at, baby, she said she looks at herself, Sabrina Carpenter, and Sydney Sweeney as if they in the big three.
Oh, bitch.
She said they was all blonde, and she see them as her contemporaries. We the big three. Now, Sabrina Carpenter, I've been hearing about, to me, I feel like if I know you and I don't really pay attention to like your demographic of music or whatever like that, I feel like you done made it if you come across my desk. Who am I? I'm me. Shit, fuck y'all. No, I'm playing. Who am I? But you know, I feel like if your name come across me at a certain point, and I don't really know who your demographic is, you done made it, right? So Sabrina Carpenter, didn't know who she was. I knew she was a singer. I don't think I really laid eyes on Sabrina Carpenter until the Grammys. Sydney Sweeney, I watched Euphoria, but I really hadn't, honestly and truthfully, I really hadn't seen anything from Sydney Sweeney until this American Eagle post came out. I think they've been trying to make her something, but my first and only time seeing Sydney Sweeney was on Euphoria. Lil Tay, I heard of her. It was something that happened during the pandemic, but if we wanted a pandemic, I wouldn't have heard of her. Right? But to put yourself up there with them, girl, no, now you reaching with that mama. But y'all, that's all I got right now, y'all. Let me know, what did y'all think of Sha'Carri Richardson apology? Do y'all think that it was sincere? Or do y'all think that Sha'Carri is getting a slap on the wrist? I think that Sha'Carri is getting slapped on the wrist. She didn't lose anything. And I'm not saying, you know how y'all are trying to flip it on me. Y'all trying to take away from Black women. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if that was Ray Rice, did y'all Halle Bailey fans go out there and call the laws on DDG? And do y'all think that Lil Tay should be in the big three? Are y'all mad at the girls? Are y'all slut shaming the girls that get on OnlyFans to try to make a better future for themselves? Y'all let me know. But thank y'all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I will see y'all later. Adios.